So, welcome everyone to today's Shelter in Studio. I'm going to talk a little bit at the end, but this is actually, we are winding down the Shelter in Studio as everything starts to open up. But fret not, we are going to continue an online studio series, but I'll talk about that at the end. But welcome to today's visit. Today we are very excited to be visiting the studio of Mary V. Marsh. Mary V. Marsh is an Oakland artist making prints, artist books, and installations exploring the changing technologies of communication. Her work in libraries has provided a foundation for ideas and materials, and research about reading informs the work. She has had solo shows at San Jose Museum of Art, San Francisco Arts Commission at Grove Street, Berkeley Art Center, SFPL Skylight Gallery, and Mercury 20. She makes artist books and prints as Quite Contrary Press, including collaborative works with her husband, Tony Belliver. Quite Contrary Press shows at the Codex Book Fair and is in the collections of SF MoMA Library, the Bancroft Library, Harvard Fine Arts Library, Yale University Art Library, and many others. Public collections include Berkeley Civic Art Collection and the City of Hayward. She received an MFA from the San Francisco Art Institute in 1992, a fellowship award from Kala Institute in 2018, and a CSP Residency Award at Max's Garage Press in 2019. So with that, we are pleased to welcome Mary V. Marsh. Let me hand it over to her and let her take it away. Welcome, Mary.
Hi. Welcome to my Oakland studio. It is a beautiful day here. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to start with a slideshow and show you some projects that I was doing during the shelter in place and how it led to other projects. And then I'll come back to the studio and show you what I'm doing now. So we're going to do the screen share. And I think maybe I need to
Yeah, you can stop the share and do what we did earlier, Mary. It's doing that same thing. Oh, there it goes. Perfect.
Got it. All right. So during the shelter in place, when it first started, it was pretty discombobulating, of course. And so I was doing a lot of organizing my home studio because I couldn't go to Kala where I usually print. So I went through a lot of files and then I was printing on book pages. These are linoleum cuts that I had around. And also, whoops. I was doing rubbings on long walks that we would take in the neighborhood, and I had to go downtown to the dentist, San Francisco, but just collecting rubbings of whatever I found. Sorry, having trouble with this loading. A little bit of a loading issue. So anyway, I think about the rubbings as kind of evidence of being here, where you are at a certain moment in time. Having a little bit of a loading problem.
There it goes.
Anyway, so I started doing collages with all these old prints that I'd found when I was organizing my studio. And on the left is that little orange flower is kind of as a rubbing from a book cover. And so during this time, a lot of people were sending art in the mail, doing trades. And so I decided I wanted to make postcards to send to people. And I was doing these little collages. I used to do a lot of mail art in the 80s and 90s, but I hadn't done so much recently. And I was using old prints and also rubber stamps from my news delivery system book. And it's really fun to get back into sending art through the mail. There's nothing like it. And giving people little surprises in their mailbox. And it's such a bargain. I mean, it's only, if you stick to the 6 by 4¼ it's only 36 cents, or maybe it's going up. I hope not. So I called it In Place Post. And then I was able to go back to the collage studio. And the first project I did was the postcard potluck initiated by Jenny Hinchcliffe for the APHA, the American Printing History Association. So I have these, the gloved hands are in the mudra of the 5 perfections. It's called the 5 perfections of essential workers. And it was really great to have a project like that to do, getting back into the studio. I needed a little direction. So that was super fun project. And then I got an invitation by Kala to do an installation in the Milvia Addison windows. And here I was doing the prints on book pages using my reader linoleum cuts, and making them kind of intersected in odd ways, and making these 3D collages. And then I utilized the rubbings, collecting rubbings behind, as sort of to indicate kind of 2 different worlds that we're in while we're reading. And I called it Between Here and Now. And this is the Milvia side of the window. And Milvia is a bicycle boulevard. So it's one of my favorite streets, since I do a lot of biking to get around. And the window looks pretty good at night also. Whoops. And so this is the Addison side, where I have more focused on the hands holding the books. And I did a whole wall of the rubbings. My husband, Tony, helped me. We collected rubbings from about 3 blocks all around the window. Thinking about being here, being in a certain place, and then reading, you're in another world. So being in 2 different worlds. And so this is the Addison side of the window. And it's up until August, mid-August maybe, 24/7. So go by and take a look. Then another project that was going on during the shelter in place, my husband and I would go out and do photographic excursions. I was starting to use my father's old Rolodex and Tony has different medium format cameras. We were both responding to the Extraction Art Initiative started by Peter Koch at the Codex Foundation. And while Tony was looking for industrial residue or tree extraction clear cuts, I was enamored with the cell towers that are camouflaged as trees. I think they really, they represent kind of our complicity in the data mining that goes on, the collection and sale of our personal data, and also our desire to not see the infrastructure. So then Tony and I got an opportunity to do a workshop with Kazuko Watanabe at Kala. And this was a lovely opportunity, something that we might not have been able to do like this. There were only a few people in the studios, and it was really lovely, just Tony and I being able to work with her together. So there's some of the plates. And so this has sent me down a whole new path, learning the new medium. And so I've been making this series, which is the photopolymer intaglio with watercolor, and I call it foliage. And then the next series I'm working on is I call Here, Here. And on these, I'm taking the photogravures and doing letterpress polymer plate on top. Taking those cell phone images and emojis and the text messages that it's so important for us to keep in touch, but sometimes the messages are silly, or where are you? I'm here. So that's the work that I've been working on recently, and I'm making this into an artist book. So I'm gonna stop the slideshow, and then we'll go back to my studio, and I'll show you what I've been working on there.
Thank you, Mary. All right. When I see your camera come up there, I will switch the spotlight over, and we'll take a look around your studio.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I am going to show you the book that I'm working on. So I've taken those plates and I've made these pages to start out. So this is the beginning of my artist book, and I'll be folding these into folios and gluing them onto a Tyvek spine. And I will be adding a lot of other elements. This is just the first layer. So, and here I'm playing around with some handset type and seeing how I might want to lay that over. So in order to help me figure out my book idea, I made this prototype. And so this will give you kind of a better idea of where I'm headed. So it's got the intaglio with the letterpress polymer on top. And I've got these openings to kind of show the unseen parts of our interconnectivities. And then some wires. So the structure I'm going to do is folios glued onto a Tyvek accordion fold spine. So you can kind of see the structure there. And I've designed it so it will open a little bit, so you can get a three-dimensionality of these holes that I've made. So that's the idea with that. And here's a Tyvek spine that I'm going to glue it onto. All right, so now I'm going to show you a few other things in my studio. Here's a wall of the book pages with the linoleum cuts on top and some prints. And my linoleum cut tools. Various. And here's my nipping press, which is on a long-term loan from Luz Marina Ruiz. And so I use this for pressing the collages once I glue them with the wheat paste. So there's more piles of collage material over here. Some other pieces that I was working on with the book pages. And then here is, here's my collection of rubbings. So I collect, and then I have this selection to choose on what I'm going to collage with. And then here, this box is mostly prints for collage as well. So my reader prints, and then I've been printing cuts that I found at Collage. So these are fun and curious things. So I do a lot of kind of collecting so that I have a lot of material available. Here's where I do the collage cards and the rubber stamps. I have a lot of rubber stamps that I made for my news delivery system book several years ago. So I'll show you that quickly. This is a timeline of systems of communication. And so let's see, the first one is the alphabet. So I made a rubber stamp for each of these innovations. I could have made the book way, way longer, adding other things. but it kept on going, but I ended it at the cloud. So here is my lovely flat files. And I thought I would open the small book drawer and show you a few things here. What's our timing like, Chad?
We're at 12:53, so we've got a couple more minutes before we go to questions.
Okay. So here's a book that I made, with catalog cards, all starting with the story of. So it makes a little book. That's a one of a kind. And then I have my coffee diary book, which is also from a while ago, documenting writing my daily coffee to go cups, and with the coffee filter, coffee filter in sheets. And then here's a quick one. I made a book with bookmarks inside, so letterpress printed, and in a library pocket. And it's all about our First and Fourth Amendment rights. So you get four bookmarks in the pocket. Right. So that's the tour.
Great, thank you. Let me switch the spotlight back to your other computer here, and then I can get to some of the questions for you. Marilyn was curious, what media do you do those rubbings with?
Yeah, I use the Caran d'Ache crayons. They're really soft and come in amazing many colors. And thin paper like Kozo, or for the installation, I bought those rolls of paper that are made for calligraphy. So it's really nice, pretty nice thin paper. It comes in a huge roll.
Excellent. And Julianne was curious what the quantity of the edition that you're working on, that artist book that you showed, the Here.
Yeah, I'm hoping for 10.
Ooh, that's a lot of intaglio printing for.
It is. Well, I've done that part. So now I'm going to work on the pressure printing.
Okay.
I recently took a wonderful workshop with Macy Chadwick through the Hamilton Wood Type Museum.
Oh, excellent.
And so I'm all geared up for, that's the next phase for my book, is pressure printing, and then doing some of the polymer letterpress on top as well.
Excellent. Michelle had a question, and I'll just read it instead of paraphrasing it. She said, so much of Mary's work is a response to limitation, mostly situational. Can Mary talk about how that informed her work?
Situational. Well, yeah, I can say that I've done several diary projects, and part of Part of those projects and what has informed my work is my work life of working in libraries and squeezing in my art making in some way. So the diary projects were often about like doing the same thing every day, and then using that as a source to make artist books from. Tracking my my bus rides. I did a commuter diary. Tracking my coffee to go buying. Yeah.
Excellent. Rebecca is curious what paper is being used in the book for the intaglio letterpress and pressure printing.
That's a BFK. It's a little thick for pressure printing. I'm not going to get fine detail, but it'll work.
Is it? Do you know what weight of BFK offhand? Just
250.
Okay. It's a good weight. And Adele Shaw says, you're so observant. I love the hidden layers. Also, what glue do you use to glue the tie back?
To glue the tie back, I'm going to be using the PVA cut with a little wheat paste. PVA and wheat paste. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, Mary, thank you so very much. This has been a real treat. But it does look like that is all the time we have for today. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us, and a giant thank you to Mary for showing us around her studio. Before I close the session, I have two things. One is that there are only three shelter and studio visits left at this point, because starting in July, we'll be making this series into a once-a-month event called From the Bench. So it'll be basically the same thing, and we'll still do it, but we're going to be busy running the center again once we go back to work. So keep your eyes peeled on our newsletter, and on our website. We'll have announcements about From the Bench visits. We're starting to line those up, and they'll probably be the first Thursday of the month. So same time slot, but just once a month. And the second thing is that next week's visit, which will be the second to last, will be to the studio of letterpress printer Alan Dye, a good longtime friend of the center. And he will show us around his shop called Noble Impressions in San Francisco. So we hope you all can join us for that. Until then, thank you again to Mary. Thank you all for coming. Have a great week and stay safe.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.